Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Today, and we have also seen invoice exception. Invoice exception will control majority part of the invoice reconciliation process in a real time. Earlier days, when invoice has come, invoice agent or clerical agent has to verify whether there is a sufficient PO and the PO was active, or if it is not received and there is not a duplicate invoice. And also they will make sure that they have received that item to make the payment. Any questions? Those are all automated process. Now, through invoice exception, Ariba will try to scrutinize your invoice based on a lot of parameters. It will verify whether there is a sufficient PO balance, open PO is available, and also it verifies, again on currency basis, whether the supplier currency, purchase order currency and invoice currency matches, whether we are allowed to accept or we can decide whether the two-way match or three-way match has happened. Many factors will be verified. You can decide on what documents you want to do the verification also, whether you want to do only purchase orders or only non-PO orders. That configuration can be done at the invoice exception types that will control your invoice documents coming in your company. Now again, after the invoicing manager, when you go to manage core administration, you will go to the Procurement manager. You will see receiving times by commodity codes. Now you are aware of what is a two-way match and a three-way match. Two-way match means invoice is verified with your purchasing order document or a contract document. If it is having sufficient amount available in the PO, it will make a payment. For example, if PO was created for $10,000, already one invoice is received for $500. When next invoices come, it will just verify up to 500. If the invoice is there, it is ready to make a payment. It will not validate whether that service has been serviced or a material has been received by the receiving department. That is a two-way match. If you are enabling three-way match, then that is validated against receipt of purchasing document whether sufficient receipt has been posted or not. If there is no posting, it would inform the receiving department to accept the invoice or nothing, but the material or service is provided in the invoice that they can clear the payment. That is three-way match. That is, you can able to control in receiving types by commodity codes. There are two ways you can control receiving types. One is by commodity code, one is by part number. Part number is the least one, the supplier part number. You can able to decide it based on the part number. How you want the receiving control has to be there. Commodity code is nothing but your material groups. At what level you want to do that. Commodity types you can able to do that. I will click on list all to show what are all our active configurations which we are having and what is. Now you can see receiving types. There are many receiving type options at that level. No receipt required, reconcile by quantity. In this case system, when you are configuring this for a particular commodity code, then you don't need a receiving. Automatically the system will call it by receive and survey the quantity. Quantity mentioned on invoice, quantity mentioned in purchase order. It will reconcile. No receipt required. Reconcile by amount. Instead of checking by quantity, it will check by the PO amount or invoice amount. Here, it will do an auto receipt also. There is a functionality. You don't need to perform this. For example, it's a service like electricity bill. How can you receive that one? There is no point of validating invoice. Electricity bill comes means you just pay. Only there is no way to accept that service or something. In that case, you can create auto receipt for the invoices, making sure that the process is done by the system. System to say auto reconciliation. Auto receipt on charge reconciliation, reconcile by quantity. What will happen? Charge reconciliation means in invoice reconciliation, the charge is nothing but your invoice amount. When they do, the reconciliation system will post an automated receipt. Auto receipt on a due date. In that case, if you mention the purchase at a due date, based on the due date, for example, current bill or electricity bill, it will do every previous period 31st of 30th or 31st of that month. As soon as the date is come, Ariba posted goods receipt and waits for an invoice. Auto receipt on an invoice, reconcile by quantity. Or when invoice is received, you just post a auto receipt. Auto receipt on invoice or charge, the reconciler reconcile by quantity. There are many options that are available. Manual receipt received by quantity. In this case, we want the user to perform a receiving by quantity. Manual receipt using milestone tracker. Auto receipt through auto receipt. All these manual receipt received by Amba. Anyway, now these are all the receiving types available in Ariba, which is more than enough to control it. Now the combination which we are controlling is commodity code for particular commodity code. And what is the method of receiving? For example, paper products of 1411 manual receipt received by quantity. When you receive an invoice for this commodity code, it accepts manual receipt and received by quantity as to match. Asset data, even for this type of receiving is done, then we expect the asset data to be provided by the supplier. You want to see what are all others which is not active. You can click on No. If you are either, all the list will be displayed here. The filters, asset data required also if that is customization done for this customer. Whenever they do a receipt, they want to provide asset data, then you can include that. Maybe for capital expenditure, you can use this option. For others, you don't need the asset data. How do we make changes to any existing setup? These are all active ones. I clicked on Yes. Now asset data is required only for let's select any of the capital expenditure. Let's say cleaning equipment and supplies. When this is done, maybe this is not computer-aided main questions, CM software. This is a capital expenditure, computer-aided manufacturing, KM software. This is the commodity code, auto receipt on due date, just to weigh quantity. I want to give it some changes you can edit. Anyway, since it is a software, they are accepting auto receipt on due date and receive a quantity threshold amount. This is again good feature, where up to 100,000 only this methodology will go. After, if it is more than that, then system will land perform auto receipt. It will wait for receiving order. If you are clicking asset data, then it will ask for an asset data when you are processing that invoice. Again, you can add another. In this case, I want to change to manual receipt. Because I want manually receipt by quantity, not manually receipt by quantity, I want by amount. because software is their amount based. And I also want asset data is required whenever I am performing activity on this receipt. Auto receipt for item which are manually received by quantity. If only this is allowed only by quantity time only if I am doing, I will be expecting the asset should be countable. That is the reason they have put this condition. Like this you can do, or you can also create a new by clicking on new. Entering Ariba Spend Management. External means it is coming from outside. Manually maintained. We will be selecting Ariba Spend Management. Manually maintain, then Ariba Spend Management. Both are same, only commodity code for which commodity code you want to create. I will select computers. I want manual receipt in the computers. A computer changes when I am receiving for this commodity code. Unes Picode computer changes. Let's say data not required, but I want this to be done manually. Received by quantity. Click on Save. This is how you can define your receiving types in Ariba. Then receiving type by part number. Here I am selecting. My method will be on commodity code. It will be a part number in receiving type by part number. You can see this is supplier specific also. I will create a new to understand more for which supplier. Part number specific for supplier only. I will select. Let's select any supplier ABC supplier. From ABC supplier, if the part number is C123.2.5 description. What I am going to get from the sub player, and with this part number consumable pill printing machine and just randomly giving. There is a consumable item which comes for a printing machinery. If you are at ordering by this part number, then I will say ABC number. ABC number, this is the part number, this is the description. I want to perform manual receive by quantity. I will create here. The deciding factor is when I receive an item with this part number, the system will stop me and ask me to enable manual receive. This way also, you can configure your receiving times. Any doubt? Now let us see payment methods. List of. If you want to add any other payment method, you can add it. It is very simple. Create new. You can give unique ID and name of this thing. Preference rank will be, there are multiple payment method. Which one will take the priority? Electronic payment, preferred payment method as take bank, credit card, die or something whatever you want to provide. Click on cancel and cancelling it. Let's view any one of the cash payment. You can see electronic payment as no and payment method as cash. If you want to change, you can able to change also. This way, you can add multiple payment methods using this Ariba on screen. Payment terms. This is payment method and this is payment terms. Payment terms generally comes from your ERP system. Whatever the payment terms you're maintaining in Ariba, you can maintain here. Whenever we've done this, let me see what is 9060. Even we don't see also. Generally, payments will come from your ERP system only. We don't generally maintain in Ariba. Bank location. This is something new. What's new document in the settings? Now I will be talking about data dictionary. Now if you remember, in some cases we use data input and export option to bring in data from your external system. But I do not know what fields are compulsory, what fields are not compulsory, what I am supposed to enter in that particular field. In any of the places where you are going to export and do this thing, you want to understand that more. Then you use the option called download data dictionary. Some people refer it this as a Bible of Ariba spend management configuration. In Site Manager data, input and export. If you are clicking whoever having access to Site Manager, they can only see this download data dictionary. The person who do not have Site Manager access, they will not able to see. And this is what I call dynamic dictionary. Based on your settings from a company, automatically that will get updated. For example, later you have created a custom field in one of the contact management module. Then that field will automatically get updated in your data download dictionary. Data dictionary will get updated. You don't have to manually maintain. Ariba has to do a job process to update this dictionary. This will get updated immediately. You can use the latest version also. And this will change from company to company. You cannot use this for other companies also. Again, based on your configuration. If you're having SLP configuration, downstream configuration, this will change. This will give you all the details which your company is using, including integrations also. You can refer this file and get into detail. I'm downloading the dictionary. Day distance opening. This is the file. You will be having multiple shades with this. Right click on the page navigation. Then go to the last page, which is at the bottom. We'll see indexes. Click on that. Click on. Then you will be having all the task details, which we want more details about how you can do this. Let's select one thing. Supply and input fame income. When I want to import payment terms, export payment terms, import payment data consolidated file. I'll click on that file, that link. It will take me to the relevant page. This is the file which we want to prepare. It will give you the name import payment terms data consolidated file. It will give the task details. Whatever in Alibaba, that is, each one will be called as a task. It will tell, define the payment terms which are used to specify the time period in supplier request payments, and this one blah blah blah. And the file name. What is supposed to be the file name? Payment terms consolidated CSV. Now you will be seeing these fields. What is your default fields? Description, name, unique name, installment, percentage, installment number, discount, discount type, pay index. These are your column names. You can ignore this new field column. Mostly it is same only. While Alibaba doing a migration, they replicated it. This is same, only you will be selecting field name. And this is also same, only field name only. Field column name and field name. Maybe in some cases, with early cases, you will find a difference here. Now field description. Each item will be described. A user visible description for the payment term. What is the name? A user visible name for the payment term. Unique name. Unique name has to be unique. As it mentioned, the file has to be unique only. What values are accepted in this thing? Multi-language string. This is a text field. This is string. Only you are able to enter up to 50 characters of length. Big decimal string, big decimal integer. What type of string it is and how much is the limit? Sample values. It can be having something like do immediately. These are all sample values. You can correct also. String unique name will be 00. Instrument percentage 1. Discount is 3. Percentage. Payment term is 14 days. For example, whether these columns are required. You need to provide a description. Yes, name of yes, unique name of yes. Instrument percentage also. Here it is not mentioned. You can skip also. You don't need to maintain values. Then this place of the payment is also you can allow null. Whether you can allow value as a null value. If it is no, then you cannot accept zeros values. Sorry, a null value. You need to have certain value in this particular field. Now I will just show you this file in your Ariba also. Import payment terms. I'll go to Ariba. There is no way to cancel. Main is administration. Payment terms will be in downstream. Data import and export. I'm searching the task name import payment comes consolidated file. This is the file. How do you import? Once you know the details, you can click on import. Then system will ask you what you are going to perform. Whether you are going to perform a load creates and modifies objects in the values. If object in the import file does not exist, object is created. It read this file always. I suggest whenever you are doing activity, read this code. It might change for certain tasks. If the object is already existing, it will not. It is modified using the values. If the object is not there, it will create. If it exists, it will modify also. Create. Suppose you just want to load. Only it can create. Create new objects in the file. If it is existing, it is not modified also. Then if it is missing, it will load it. If it is there, it will not correct it. But if you use the load, even it will update the bold of the cards also. In the third case, modify existing values, but it will not create any new record. You use the top. Deactivate certain times where, for example, users, we cannot delete them. We can make them as a deactivate. We can do that. You choose the file. Whatever the file you have prepared, you see the name of the file also. And it has to be CSV file format. Then you click on run by taking one of the action. I'm just cancelling it. I will show you the sample file. Majority of the cases, the same file will be available for your export with certain data. Anyway, this is only for import purpose. There is not export is available. Export payment terms consolidated and just clicking on export. Click on. Payment. Now you see these are all the values in your payment file. You can see now you want to find out default. What is default? What is name? Unique name, description, discount type, payment discount instrument, percentage, instrument number. Now we'll go to the data dictionary file. You see these fields are all you are seeing in Ariba also. Discount and discount type. Now I'll go back to the same indexes. If you want to see any other information, maybe I will select. Use the data. User data consolidated file is generally where your user data comes in. Mostly you will be having unique name, which is nothing but, for example, by UISL will be unique name password adapter. There are multiple password adapters. If you are using single sign-on, you need to provide what is the methodology to log in the detailed name of the user email address, job ID, whatever the field column names we are able to find. Who is the supervisor for this particular unique name? What supervisor's password adapter? Alternative email address of the user, purchasing unit billing address, sample and approval cost, and default customer. All these things can be maintained in your user file. Whether that field set we required or not, you're going to see here. Majority will be false only. You don't need to enter any information. Wherever true, you need to provide that information. You can also see the sample values. I can see password adapter. Let's say it will be the username, email address. In this case, since it is false, it has not provided any values. Wherever true, you need to provide the values. Is it clear on the data dictionary? If you have a time, go to the instance you're having access. You download the data dictionary. Rate some of these finds to better understand what is being used in your current system. Internal order cost centers. Anything you can see from data dictionary. We are going with commodity codes. Commodity codes is nothing but your SAP's commodity codes. Ariba uses UNSP commodity codes. Whatever you are seeing here, that is UNSP commodity code. Commodity code mapping will be done from one-to-one mapping. Suppose UNSP code is coming as above your one in what is our commodity code, mapping has to be done. That is what you're going to maintain. This commodity code or custom commodity codes are user specific. For example, I want to select from UNSP. I want to select my custom. Whatever the combination, the UNSP code of this one 4412 will belong to K3234 of our client. You can also create new ones by using click on Create New. Create. If there is not a mapping is available, you can do that. Partitioned commodity codes is nothing but your material groups. In your supplier ERP system, what are the material groups? You need to have a commodity code mapping between standard Ariba codes to your ERP commodity code description. partitioned commodity code maps will give you. This is basically your material group. This is your material group mapping. Furniture, and for example, I will select this one. Realm, external commodity code description. Partition commodity code description. Account type is capital. This will have additional information. When this particular commodity code is using, what kind of a commodity code it select, capital company code, to which company code this is mapped. What is the category? It is a material or service. Account category is A. What is the minimum and maximum amount set up for this partition commodity code? I will also show you one more place where you're going to see this commodity code mapping. Same way import and export. Import commodity. Here import system commodity codes. This is done only one time when we are importing Ariba implementation. That time you are going to create this one. The input app commodity code to this is also called as a semi-file. APAC commodity code to commodity code. Material group to your commodity code mapping. Let's export this one. AP commodity code to commodity code. Click on export. Click on all the sources I'm updating. All the sources I'm updating this file generally will come across in your production system also. Commodity export map file. Let's select this. Material group. ERP material group. Come on. All three of us filter. I will go to the commodity mapping. I will select, these are all your levels. This is my common idea. Commodity code which will be mapped to 1001Z, Cruise 1002. There are three types. One is expand category, other category is expense category. This has been linked to commodity code P110 10 10. The commodity code description says UNS PST code which will be mapped to this material group. And for this company code, whether set category. What you're clear? Actually, we will be having DM. Only someone has created a yes also. M stands for material. Whenever you're having purchasing this commodity code, for example, if you started purchasing from this commodity code, when you're creating a PR, when you're selecting this commodity code, automatically it will assign to this particular material group in your ERP system, and system expects this to be of a material you should not be using. Service. For example, if I select this one, I can select this one, and then I can select this one. You should allow. What type of a category should be allowed? You can give M means material. If it is service, you should give D, expense type material. Then on the right hand side, what type of accounting information? It accepts cost center. You cannot decide. Once I select this commodity code and the material type will be material, and I will be deciding whether it is a cost center purchase or internal order purchase, a UBS purchase. If you try to process without cost center, the system will stop you. This material code is expecting a cost center detail. If you are creating with some other internal order or something, the system will stop you and ask for a cost center detail. Once you select again, this is only mapped to this particular commodity and this particular build group. If you are changing also, it will stop or it will give you a problem when you are submitting that. You need to maintain the details here. What is allowed commodity for this particular type of commodity? What is the accounting? Information is collected. Whenever you are creating a PR, you randomly select a material commodity. Code and system is not allowing to proceed. You come here and verify the STMI file, which is also called commodity export mapping file. Enter your material item which you are entering here. Find out whether that has been extended to the company code which you are using. If it is extended, and find out what is the accounting information which is used. If these three ways are matching, the system will allow you to proceed with submission of your PR. As a practice stand, whenever you are doing, if you are getting this error, try to use the values from this file to take the material commodity card of this one and use the company code of this one and accounting information of this one. Then you should able to clear as I make you work, purchase the information. This is your commodity code which you want to export. You need to import this commodity code. If it is missing, then you need to maintain that commodity code mapping. Is it clear? You can give it a test also by adding some commodity codes which you know. Try to import and see the file which is loading or not. Here you are able to create directly by clicking on create new type of commodity code which you want to create. You provide the name. It is a custom. I will just put the name as 4523 and name as the furniture. What is the parent group I need to select? It should be 45 generally. It does not have 45. Let's say independent of not. And search. And I am searching with furniture. And it is affecting 4543 custom. You can create a mapping also. Create new. This is through the UI which you are doing. Domain from custom value from 4523. And domain 2, what will be the relevant commodity code? I don't know some UNSP code. And I will select search mode. Furniture. I will search for furniture commodity. Here furniture, fitting, storage, product manufacturing services. Click on save. This way I am creating a mapping between custom codes to UNSP codes. Now I want to map this to my list new. Oh, and mapping, sorry. Mapping has to be done here. You can do mapping of your commodity code from. And you can give what type of services are performed. I mean asset, company code and other details. Or you can go to data, import and export. Now, if you try to export your commodity code, you should see the one which you have just created. If you are getting any doubt on this thing, you can go to the data dictionary. Data dictionary. Commodity codes. Export commodity code, internal mapping and other things. I want to use input commodity codes. The input app command is approach. This is very simple file, unique name, name and description. This is all it needs. Field column name, unique name. This is the display name. The background. This is your material. Code will be your unique name. It gives you the details also. A SAP material group code. Marker will be a SAP material group code. The user visible name for SP material group code. The user visible description for the SAP material group code. Name and description you need to provide. And whether true. And these two cases. Now you can accept sample values. 0, 1 metal processing. This is commodity code that we are creating. The length can be 50 digits only of your commodity. Description can be no restriction. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.